Today on our 1993 Spartan EC2000, we're going to be installing Roadmaster's Reflex Steering Stabilizer, part number RM-RBK7-RSSA. And now we're taking a drive without our steering stabilizer installed so we can compare the differences. So right now you can see there when I hit bumps, you can see the wheel jerk. Once we get our stabilizer installed, that'll help minimize those jerks in the steering wheel. And what this means for you is you're going to have more control over your vehicle, as well as it's going to reduce fatigue when driving down the road because you're not going to have to fight to hold it straight like you were before. So as we head into our test course here, you're going to notice as we go over the various terrains how our steering wheel is going to react. We're going to start with something that'll simulate uneven pavement. And you can really see here how it jerks the wheel and how you have to fight it to keep it straight. Next, we're going to be going over something that'll simulate potholes or speed bumps. And you can see here how it still jerks the wheel, but not as bad as our uneven pavement did. Another thing you'll notice that when you're turning and on some of them backcountry roads, your steering wheel will return to center. But we'll see how much more our stabilizer is going to make a difference in bringing our vehicle straight for us. As of right now, it continues to turn left and is not straightening out. And now with our steering stabilizer installed, we're going to take it back out on our test course. You can already tell when we go over our bumps, our steering wheel doesn't move nearly as much as it used to. And it's much easier to maintain control. And we come around our turns, you see we let go of the wheel. It immediately brings our steering wheel back to center. Unlike before, where our wheel kept at an angle and our RV just went right around in a circle all by itself. Here we can let go and watch it return. Now as you can see, when we're turning, you'll see our springs expand and contract, and it pulls our steering back to center. And you can see here, as we go over bumps, the dampener bringing our steering back to center right away. So what this really means for you is it's going to help reduce driver fatigue by keeping the steering wheel straight, returning to center, doing a lot of the work for you. It's going to give you an overall more stable ride by keeping that wheel straight. So you're going to feel safer and more confident going down the road. Now before your install, you want to make sure that you park your vehicle on level ground with the steering wheel straight. We'll begin our installation underneath our RV in the front on our front axle by removing both of the nuts on the rear U-bolts. We're going to take these off using a 1 1/4 inch socket. We'll now slide our bracket on with the L angle facing away from the axle, and then reinstall our nuts. Ours had washers on the back. If yours does, make sure you install those with it. We'll now take our tie rod mounting bracket. We're going to place it on our tie rod between the tie rod and the front axle. We're going to slide our U-bolt through and place flat washers, followed by lock nuts on the other side. We'll then place the second U-bolt through the other set of holes and attach them with the same hardware. Now on our chassis bracket, the one that's underneath our airbag, we're going to take one of the larger bolts, slide it from the front facing back in our bottom hole, slide on a flat washer, and we're going to slide on our steering stabilizer. We're going to put the end without the coil spring on there. Follow that with another flat washer and a lock nut. We're just going to leave it hand tight for now. Now on our tie rod mount, we're going to take another large bolt, slide it from the back of the vehicle towards the front through the hole. We're going to place on a flat washer, followed by our steering stabilizer, then another flat washer, and a lock nut. We can now go back and tighten down all of our hardware. We're going to start by tightening down our tie rod end bracket. We're going to line that up, and we're going to tighten down our U-bolts with a 9/16 socket. You want to go back and forth and make sure you're tightening it down evenly. Now we can tighten out our steering stabilizer bolts. You can do that with a 3/4 inch wrench and socket. And now you're ready to test drive your vehicle. If the steering stabilizer wants to cause the vehicle steering to pull to the left or to the right, you want to make sure that you drive onto flat level ground with your steering wheel straight, just like you did when we started the install. Readjust by loosening your bolts, making sure nothing's tight, and tighten them back down and retest drive. And that completes our installation of Roadmaster's Reflex Steering Stabilizer on our 1993 Spartan EC2000.